After 36 years away, the World Cup return is underway. Penalty for Canada. It's Davies, denied by Courtois. A glorious golden chance. It is not the result Canada would have wanted on their return to the world's biggest stage, but it is a performance that will make people sit up and take notice.
We're going to go and F Croatia. That's as simple as it gets.
Buchanan with the cross in towards Alphonso Davies! A goal the country has been dreaming about for decades. As that one slid through, Canada's lightning start in this game is erased.
And it's put in by Kramaric. Victory sealed for Croatia. Canada's dream of progression has surely died.
Canada masters of their own downfall. Their World Cup journey comes to an end without being able to get a point.
We belong. I know the results don't show that. I think we earn the respect of a lot of people around the world. First time on this big stage, you know, it's a different quality of play. And yeah, we just have to get used to it, and we have to move forward to 2026.
Man, they came so close to a result in both the Belgium and Morocco games, but came away empty. But expectations much higher for 2026. After Qatar, Canada kind of treaded water in the world rankings, but shortly after Jesse Marsch took over in early 2024, the ascent began from the 40s to the 30s, and now 27th in the world, one spot off their high. And that fourth place finish at Copa America, still the highlight. Here's Matthew Scianitti with Canada's coach, Jesse Marsch.
Joined by the head coach of the men's national team, Jesse Marsch. You and I have talked about this moment really for the last 18 months. Now that it's here, what are your emotions? I mean, are they going to be going up and down as the names are drawn out of the pots? Yeah, you talk to Wayne Gretzky at all about pot 4?
Yeah. Wayne's hopefully going to help us out. No, we're excited to have him on stage and part of our whole project here. In general, you know, it's a weird day because there's not really much preparation that goes into it. You're just going to sit there and watch your fate. I haven't had great luck with draws if you go back to Champions League and different things I've been a part of, so maybe I saved it all up for today. Let's hope for that.
How do you take your 2010 experience being an assistant coach with the U.S. men's national team into today and the weeks and months to come?
Yeah, I mean, I have some strategies, certainly, from the past about how to prepare for this, for the opponents, and certainly we have enough time to go through it. It's really interesting because you get to know the opponents so well and the individual players, and the preparation that for every team that goes into it is so thorough. So we'll be excited to start that process and get to work. And look, we know we'll have no matter what comes our way, I think we have a team that's ready for this, that isn't afraid of anybody, and that's a good feeling to have, to know that you have a good team.
I know you and I have talked about it, and I'm putting you on the spot. Today, who do you want, and who would you hope to avoid?
Well, in Pod 3, I can say that I don't want to play Norway, and partly
because many people don't want to play Norway.
Yeah, well, they're a good team, and Erling Haaland is someone that I coached and someone that you know, I'm really proud of all the success that he's had, and I know how dangerous he is. Pot 2, anyone's difficult. Obviously, once you get to Pot 4, and I'd rather know the opponent than not, and I'd rather not have these European play-in opponents. But that'll also give us a little bit more time to prepare for them, and maybe they don't have as much time to prepare, so there is some advantage that. But look, in the end, we'll be ready for whoever comes.
The work is going to start afterwards. Appreciate it, Jesse. Thank you very much.
All right, my man, let's go.
Well, you appreciate the candor because most coaches would just say we'll play anybody, but he admits nobody wants Norway to come out of Pot 3 and end up in the group. Back with the two Canadian captains, Atiba Hutchinson and Julian de Guzman. I remember sitting back in Qatar up on our set, Jules, watching Atiba at 39 and knowing he was going to have to come out of the games at some point and being really concerned because there wasn't a lot of depth behind him and behind some of the starters. Is that the biggest change in the last 3.5 years, the depth that Canada has added?
Absolutely. You know, having the shot at playing at a World Cup at Qatar allowed Canada to develop and give these players a chance now to play in top leagues in the world. We're also seeing guys like Nathan Saliba now, who's playing at Anderlecht. You know, that's a young talent that we would like to see more of, and there's nothing wrong with him coming off the bench at Atiba. So, you know, Estacio, Ismail Kone, we're going to expect them to step up. But when you look at the rotation of that group, especially in the midfield, I feel a lot more comfortable going into another World Cup prepared and facing any team that comes our way.
Yeah, you're 100% right, Jules. I remember the amount of talks that we've had when we were younger and always having that lack of depth.
Yeah.
We didn't have so much depth. We had a handful of players that were playing out in Europe, and now you see these guys that are in big clubs in Europe and performing at a high level, winning leagues, winning Champions Leagues. That's exactly what you need. And as you said, it's created a lot more talent in the country, giving a pathway to a lot of these players to go out there and represent Canada. And that's what you need right now. So we're in a good spot. There's so much that the coach has to choose from right now. I talked to him about that yesterday, and he's very, very happy with where the team is at and how much depth there is.
Depth is one thing that's helpful, but you also need from your starting 11 the ability to elevate and be better than they were 3.5 years ago in Qatar. From what you've seen from them over these tournaments and these friendlies, you know, they avoid all the world powers in pot one, but is Canada ready to compete with, say, a Colombia or Switzerland, or if they draw Norway, are they ready for that?
I don't think there's a team that we can't play against. I think there's every chance that we have to play against any one of those teams in this tournament that we can get a result in. So they're not going to be fearing anyone. It's about going out there and playing what, you know, the football that they've been playing over the past few years. You know, they're confident. We've seen, as we spoke about France, what they did against them. For large parts of that game, we look like the better team. You know, and this is a chance where stars are going to be born. So, yeah, it's just about going there and all the preparation that you put into it, you put it out onto the pitch.
The one thing I like to say about this national team for Canada is the team has matured, and that's going to be extremely important going into such a major competition like the World Cup, right? So, you know, you could go back and look at the errors and the mistakes and how naive we were in Qatar. But in this case, and I like to use the example of Richie Larea, a player like him who is full of energy, full of emotion, now is one of the leaders of the team, is able to control that tempo. So guys like him is going to be, you know, a difference maker in this World Cup. But having the maturity to enter a match against Colombia, I feel the guys are strong and confident to go.
And all the injuries that Canada have had haven't been great necessarily as far as preparation, but they have opened the door, as you say, for others to step up and play in those roles.